What's going on, y'all? What's up? What's up? How is everybody doing this beautiful morning? Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's let everybody get in here, and then we'll start talking about the slate. All right. Pull my shit up real quick. We'll talk about early and main slates, so whatever question you have, I'll just switch slates back and forth. It's all good. What's poppin', Cam? Tierra, what's up? Hopefully stacks work out better today. So the problem with yesterday, what happened, well, we still cashed in baseball at Greenlight DFS. We still cashed. Everything was great. But in the live show, we talked about the Cleveland stack, right? Well, we liked the Cleveland stack because Teheran was pitching. Well, in warm-ups, Teheran got hurt and didn't pitch. So it didn't happen as great as it would. Hey, Cam, I need to turn it around 3 straight. Let's get it, Aaron. Happy Saturday. Neil, what's up, bro? What's up, Hammer? What's going on, y'all? Yeah, man, we swept everything yesterday. NBA, baseball, it was great. Unwound Cowboy, what's up, man? What's going on, everybody? Hopefully everybody's having a great Saturday so far. I figured I'd come live for about 20, 30 minutes or so. Go ahead and talk about the slate real quick. We got an early and a main slate for baseball today to go ahead and get into. So let's get it. Whatever questions y'all have, just fire away. Interesting pitching options for the early slate. Okay, so let's talk about the early real quick. So Jacob deGrom is pretty much locked for me when it comes to pitching. 3 straight main losses for me. Damn, Aaron. Cincinnati stack today. Let's talk about it. All right, so that's on the main slate, so I will get to that in a second. But the pitching on the early slate. My favorite options pitching on the early slate is deGrom and probably Pineda, however you say his name, from Minnesota. Morning, everyone. Jeffrey, what's up, man? So, yeah, those are my 2 favorite pitchers there. Trevor Rogers is interesting, as well as Hauser, but Hauser's going to have some chance of rain, chance of a delay in that game. So hopefully early is better today. Are you nervous about weather at all today, all day today? There is some weather issues today, but for the most part, my pitching is avoiding it. For the most part. Pretty much. Yeah, early for yesterday was crazy. The Dodgers only scoring 1 run in their home opener against a bad pitcher. That was crazy. That was pretty wild, honestly. But shit like that happens sometimes in baseball, man. So sometimes it's just like, wow. Cincinnati. Somebody asked about Cincinnati stack. Let's check that out. Let's see. Cincinnati against Arizona. Let's see. They're solid. I like them for GPP. Kansas City and White Sox. Yep, that was postponed before I went live. Yes. The stack for. Let's see our favorite stacks. Let's check out the stacks today. Pull up the stacks. See what we got for today. All right, so for the main slate, if we're looking at main slate only, Cincinnati's offense has been fire. Obviously, Toronto is like one of my favorite stacks. I really, really like them. I think Angels have a chance at the upset, though. And so I do like the Angels money line if you're doing bets. But, yeah, Toronto, Cincinnati's interesting. Angels, again, can be stacked. So there's some interesting ways to go. San Diego. Agree with the early pitchers, Cam. Yeah, both of them are solid. What about a Minnesota stack on the early slate? Minnesota stack seems fine. I mean, they're in a great spot. They're facing a lefty again, which is always good. Let's check out that lineup real quick. For Minnesota, I know they released that lineup. I really like Byron Buxton and Nelson Cruz. We all know how I feel about that. The only thing is I could see a scenario where Kikuchi has a solid game here because he looked solid in his first start. But the problem is for him, unfortunately, is overall his strikeout rate has jumped over the last year or so. But he still gives up a decent amount of hard contact. His ground ball rate is really good. He keeps the ball on the ground, but Nelson Cruz and Buxton would be my go-tos. Garlic, how much is garlic today? Let me see real quick. How much was Garlic again? Garlic is 2-4, batting second, wind blowing out. I mean, it's a solid situation here. I believe the wind's blowing out to left too, right? Let me see. It's out to right, so it's the other side. But yeah, Garlic, once again, fantastic play. I do like Minnesota again. Is Minnesota out? The starting lineup is yes. So that's a good spot for value, for sure. Home run predictions. Yeah, I'll get to them at the end of the live. Normally, I'll hit them at the end of the live, and then we'll go from there. Kikuchi sucks. He's been stepping it up over the last year or so, but yeah, not much wind here in Minnesota this AM. Pitching is poop today. Early slate, DeGrom, and early slate's not too bad pitching-wise. For the main slate, let's look at the main slate pitching real quick. Obviously, guys, keep an eye on weather today because weather could be an issue today. When it comes to pitching on the main slate, I do like Ian Anderson. He sticks out to me. He looks fine. Zach Eflin normally is okay versus Atlanta. I don't love Eflin, though. The fact that they're in Atlanta definitely downticks him. Chris Paddock against Texas. Anybody versus Texas is fine. So, yeah, Paddock and Ian Anderson are both solid options. Yeah, but main slate pitching is bad. Drop that like down below if you haven't already. Thank you guys for joining me as always. As you can tell, I just answer questions in this live show. So ask whatever questions you guys want to answer, and let's get it. Milwaukee Lefties. Let's take a look at the Milwaukee stat. Let's take a look at the Milwaukee stack. All right. Milwaukee going against Carlos Martinez. Obviously, if you look at recently, he's actually had worse splits versus righties than lefties. But righties and lefties are both completely fine to play against him. Milwaukee's offense hasn't been very good this year. That's the only concern there is that they just haven't been great. But Keston Hiura can be played. Yelich can be played. But those are kind of the two main guys that I would stick with if you want to play. Hiura hasn't been great. But those are the guys, if I do play Milwaukee, that I would like. I actually kind of like Carlos Martinez a little bit, but there is weather concerns. Where am I looking at third base on early slate? I got plenty of sleep, bro. Do I look like I didn't get enough sleep? I got plenty of sleep, man. I went to bed early as fuck yesterday. Early slate, third base. All right, here we go. Let me see. Okay, so third base over here. Overall, my favorite option would probably be Nolan Arenado. Just because he has a 317 versus righties. The wind's blowing out to center really, really hard. So I definitely like that. St. Louis is at home. I think Arenado was solid. We talked about Milwaukee versus Martinez. If you are doing a Milwaukee stack, Travis Shaw probably. He's got some of the best power at that position versus righties. DJ LeMahieu, if you want to stack up the Yankees. Yandy Diaz is leading off, but I'm not going to have much of that. So mainly it's LeMahieu, Shaw, or Arenado. Vasquez for center main slate. Let me see. I said for center, for a catcher. Vasquez is in a fantastic position, man. 269 average, 269 ISO. He's got a ton of power. Here's the issue. There's a guy by the name of Tucker Barnhart for Cincinnati who has just been mashing righties. It's a high total. He's got a 341 batting average, a 366 ISO, a 466 WOBA. Tucker Barnhart has been super consistent, super solid. Obviously, we need to make sure that he's going to be the starter here because, he did just catch yesterday. But pay attention to that. But at 3-1, I really like Tucker Barnhart to save you some money. Most of the time, I don't spend up at catcher. Most of the time, I won't spend up at catcher unless it's just a horrible slate for catcher and it's just light years ahead. Max Stassi is interesting in that super high total. You like Pena as a cheap catcher option. So I saw that his you're talking about a different slate. Hold on. Let me switch back. That was main slate that I was talking about just now. On the early slate, I really love Mitch Garver, Gary Sanchez, James McCann. James McCann really sticks out to me because he's got a really good average, number one, 333 average versus lefties. And I'm talking more of a recent. I'm not talking over his career. I'm talking as of late. He's been hitting lefties really well. 267 ISO, 413 WOBA. So he's batting sixth in this lineup. It's a solid matchup, righty-lefty. So James McCann is interesting. Gary Sanchez, obviously, you know what you're getting out of him. He's either going to strike out or hit a home run. I mean, it just is what it is at this point. You have all the catchers covered, Cam. What do you mean? I like James McCann, Mitch Garver, Narvaez Molina. No, I'm just kidding. High five for the main slate. I'm not going to cover like any I'm not going to give you guys like any specific core. I mean, we can talk about it. Let's see. As I'm going and answering questions, mainly I'm just answering questions though for early and main, but let's see. Okay. So for the main slate, once again, I love Vladimir Guerrero. Don't do Gary like that. It is what it is, man. I mean, come on, let's be real. Gary Sanchez is going to strike out a million times or he's going to hit a home run. He's just a ton of power, not much of an average. He doesn't really hit for an average. We know that. Okay, so on the main slate, I like Vladimir Guerrero again. Just because he's been mashing lefties. He's in a fantastic spot again here. Winds blowing out to left at 10 miles per hour. So these righty power guys for Toronto could have huge games. Ken Man, let me see. Let me take care of you real quick. MMA, let me get a picture for you. I got you. I'm going to get a picture for Ken Man real quick. Having access issues. I got you, bro. Let me see. Let me get it for you because it's already posted up. Isn't it crazy? I got to log into my own shit. Other catchers are better hitters and same amount of power. Exactly. Like, yeah, I'm not saying play Gary Sanchez at all. I'm thinking the other guys that I mentioned I like more. Gary gives you that GPP upside. You know what I mean? That's what Gary brings you. All right, I just got that picture. Ken Man, I'm sending it to you right now, bro. Let me see. Boom. I got you. He might be sleeping. I don't know. I haven't talked to him yet this morning. Yeah, I got you. I just sent you the picture on Twitter. Let's see. Drop a like down below if you haven't already. It's your boy, Pac Montesel. I'm from Minnesota, stacking the Twins outfield with Garver. Good luck, fam. Yeah, no, Twins guys are great. Cruz, obviously. Byron Buxton. Mitch Garver. All of them are great. Like players from Tampa Bay Rays early. All right, let's check out the Rays early slate. Let's check out Tampa Bay. All right, so Tampa Bay going against Herman. Herman's not a bad pitcher, but lefties can get to him. So Austin Meadows, Brandon Lowe, even a Rosarina, he just hits righties so well that he's definitely in play as well. Hard contact, Herman gives up some hard contact. So, yeah, Tampa Bay lefties in particular. Meadows, Tsugo if you're stacking it low. Those are the main guys. Specifically Meadows. Any Yankees bets versus Archer? Actually, I was looking at them just a little bit ago before I went live. Let me check that out again. Okay, so the main guys versus Archer. So Archer, for the most part, struggles versus lefties. He struggles giving up too much power to lefties. He's got a decent K rate, over 25% to lefties and righties, but he gives up a lot of power to lefties particularly, okay? The ball is not on the ground too much. He doesn't have much of a ground ball rate. So overall, Yankee stack could end up going crazy. The guys that I'm interested here is probably Giancarlo Stanton. You have Jay Bruce with a huge ISO. And like I said, Archer struggles with power versus lefty. So Jay Bruce could be played for sure at first base. Aaron Hicks. We'll have to see. I don't believe that lineup's dropped yet, but we'll have to see what happens. But Archer is dust. Yeah, he's not good. Meadows is great. Yeah. JD Martinez. Let me check out JD today. Let me check him out. All right, so Boston is going up against Zimmerman, the lefty. Oh, of course. Yes. Love JD. Now, it's a small sample size for Zimmerman, but he gives up a ton of power to righties. He does have a high ground ball rate, but he gives up a ton to righties, and he does not strike righties out. So, Xander Bogaerts, JD Martinez, those are the obvious guys. Hold on. Those are the obvious guys that you want to play with. JD Martinez, Xander Bogaerts, Hunter Renfroe. Hunter Renfroe, sneaky too. So a Boston stack's interesting too against this guy, for sure. Because, like I said, the dude does not strike righties out. So far, it's a small sample size, though. But so far, he's only got a 9% strikeout rate to righties. Yeah, so. Yo, Cam, hope all is well. Everything's great, Rhythm. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I've had fun being back live with y'all, man. I enjoy being live with y'all for sure. Answering these questions gets me hyped up on the slate too. Instead of just doing it by myself, I'm able to come on here and talk ideas with people. But yeah, so far what we've talked about, Minnesota is not much of a sneaky stack, but Cruz, Buxton, Garlick. I mean, I love the value that Minnesota has on that team when it comes to batting wise. I mean, Garlick being that cheap is great hitting at the top of the order. So I like Garlick a lot. Any value pitchers on the main slate. So if you're trying to save some money on the main, let me see. Remember, guys, it's very important to keep an eye out on weather today because there are some weather spots. Value pitchers on the main slate. All right, so Jeff Hoffman probably. Let me take a deeper dive. Jeff Hoffman, Arizona's been so bad that Jeff Hoffman's definitely interesting here. He had a good start to the season with 6 strikeouts, only allowing 3 hits against St. Louis. So, yeah, I'd probably side with Jeff Hoffman. Hoffman's probably my favorite spin down. Solid SP2 for which one, bro? Which slate? Early or May? Just play DeGrom and stack the Rays and Yankees. Hey, easy advice, right? DeGrom, definitely. You got to play DeGrom. That's locked. Have to do that. Greenlightdfs.com to join the squad for today, y'all. I'll be on here for another, 12 minutes or so. Greenlightdfs.com, as you can see. How many twins should we target? 3 to 4 is fine, yeah. I probably won't. It just depends on roster construction, what other people you like from other positions. If you need a couple, you could easily end up getting a couple Minnesotas in the outfield. I mean, Cruz, Buxton, Garlick, they're all outfielders. Early slate SP2. All right. Michael Pineda is the guy I'm leaning as of right now. Michael Pineda is the guy I'm leaving. You can also do Trevor Rogers, maybe, but mainly, yeah, Pineda. Hey, babe, I'm live right now. Where are you going? Yeah, give me some biscuits, huh? All right, love you, bye. Chick-fil-A biscuit on the way. All right, I plugged Hoffman in my placeholder lineup last night on DK Main with Anderson. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Do you like Villar today for value? Let's check out Villar real quick. Let me check him out. I actually haven't looked at him too much. Can you help me out and tell me which slate he was on real quick so it's easier to find? Oh, I got it. I got it. All right. So he's going to have the righty-lefty matchup. Rogers is so bad that he's fine. So, yeah, he's fine at 3K. He's batting 8th officially, but he's okay. How about Dylan Cease versus Kansas City? There's weather there. That game got postponed, didn't it? That White Sox game was postponed. There's a lot of weather issues in that game, so. I slept fucked up last night. Y'all ever sleep like a certain way and then you wake up and your shit's all fucked up? It's like my lower neck is like, I must have been sleeping fucked up for like an hour or so. I didn't even know. Early became a 4-gamer. Yep. Never mind. I just saw the weather update. Cheap catcher for the main slate. Was that with Barnhart in it? Let me see. There's so much in my head right now. I got to verify what slate we're on here. Yeah, Tucker Barnhart. I love Tucker Barnhart today. I always have a hard time finding a solid catcher in cheaper price. Early slate value catcher. So most of the time when it comes to choosing my catcher, I will choose a cheap catcher with home run upside. How about a Chick-fil-A stack today? Yeah, man. Stack all the chicken biscuits you can. All the chicken biscuits you can. You cannot lose with Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit, all right? Like anytime I catch Chick-fil-A, especially now that my fiance is pregnant, she's been craving some Chick-fil-A biscuits too. So my barber the other day told me, he was like, do not get caught up in trying to eat every time your fiance eats, bro, because you will be fat as hell when your kid gets here. So I was like, fuck, man, that's true. I need to stop eating every time she eats. She's like, I'm hungry. I want this. I'm hungry. She's always hungry. And I'm like, fuck it. I'll eat too. Why not? I'm going to be 300 pounds by the time my kid gets here. Don't fade that 4.63 implied total to total boys early. Which one are you talking about, Aaron? My line: DeGrom, Pineda, Garver, Bruce, Lowe, Yandy. So you've got a couple people in there with a little bit of a question mark, like Yandy and Villar, but outside of that, it's fine. What's happening, Coach Cam? Rashawn, what's up, bro? What's going on, y'all? Let's see. What else we got? So yeah, I mean, pretty much, let's go ahead and go. We got the early slate locking first. So let's just do a sweep through the early slate and see what we're liking the most. DeGrom and Pineda, like I said, I like them the most. If you want to get a little cheaper, maybe Trevor Rogers, maybe Kikuchi for GPP, because we do like Minnesota, but Kikuchi looked great in his first start. So if he comes out and stuns them, but the game's in Minnesota, wind's blowing out, I think Minnesota's pretty safe today. But yeah, Pineda and DeGrom are solid. All right, bats. Let's check out some bats, man. Position by position, let's do it. I have kid number 4 on the way, October 30th. Halloween baby would be pretty sweet. Damn, man, number 4. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous for the first one. This is my first one, so I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little nervous, but not too bad, because we have been pretty much ready. If we had a kid, you know, we weren't doing shit to prevent it for the last few years. So, I mean, you know, whenever it was meant to happen, it was gonna happen, and we've been ready pretty much mentally for a while. But now that it's official, I'm like, oh shit. I actually have a fucking kid coming. First one is nervous. Any after that gets easier. Yeah, that's what I've heard. All right, y'all. So yeah, the New York stack seems obvious because of the super high total and the matchup against Archer. Jay Bruce at first base at 3-3 seems pretty great. As of late, he's not been hitting great righties, but over his career, he's got some power. So Jay Bruce could be solid at first base. Tsugo is 3-4, gives you a lefty-righty against Herman. That's a solid total as well for Tampa Bay. They don't come with instructions. I know, man. I wish they did. It would make it easier for sure. At least my fiance's had, you know, all of my fiance's friends have kids, multiple kids. So she's got plenty of people to like walk her through it. Obviously, her mom's super active and wanted a grandkid really bad. So she's still really early on. So we're about 8 months still away. She's due on like December. Might be a Christmas baby. We'll see. Also, do you like the Mets at all for the early? Let's check out the Mets. I don't think I've talked about the Mets offense too much for the early. I think they're fine. They're going against Trevor Rogers, who struggles bad. I mean, he gives up a 3.23 versus lefties. So, yeah, I think the Mets are fine. Lefties are going to get on base. He gives up some power to righty. Aaron Judge back in the lineup. Oh, yes, sir. Love that. Aaron Judge got some huge upside, man. He's been crushing the ball so far this season. I mean, crushing it. So, yeah, I mean, I also like Brett Gardner. Brett Gardner, real low-key. Like, his last, like, 60 to 100 plate appearances or so, he's been hitting righties really well. He's batting 6th in that high total at 2.9. Really like Brett Gardner as a value as well. Kyle Garlick, Brett Gardner are amazing values on this slate, man. We've got some big-time value in the outfield. Giancarlo Stanton, 423 ISO versus righties, by the way. I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all knew he had power, but he could go crazy as well. So New York stack against Archer is definitely interesting. Tampa Bay is more of a pitcher-friendly ballpark than a hitter-friendly ballpark, but that Vegas total and the matchup, it does seem pretty understandable. Do you like Nelson Cruz today? I love him. Anytime Nelson Cruz against a lefty, you don't even got to ask me. I'm with it. I think there's going to be a lot of offense in that Tampa Bay-New York game. regardless. But yeah, Brett Gardner's interesting to me, batting sixth. Byron Buxton's great. Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, Garlick, we talked about for value. I do like Garlick. I think Garlick's solid today. Congrats, I was born December 30th. That's what's up, Kyle. That's what's up. I mean, we're hoping the baby doesn't have like a Christmas birthday. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Whatever happens, happens. It is what it is. Drop a like down below if you haven't already. We got a couple more minutes, y'all. By the way, Gleyber Torres at shortstop is solid. He's hitting for a solid average versus righties, 308 batting average. You could go Francisco Lindor, I guess. As of late, he hasn't been great versus lefties. Cruz or Judge? Nelson Cruz, probably. I would side with Nelson Cruz. Most likely. Just because Nelson Cruz is so good. I miss the pitchers. Doesn't Polanco mash lefties? Let's take a look at Polanco real quick. Polanco's okay versus lefties. 286 average versus lefties. He's not bad. He doesn't hit for a ton of power, and I'm talking as of recent. Over his career, he might be solid. Sorry, just joined the party. Who's your favorite pitchers for the early slate and some of your favorite bats? My favorite pitchers for the early slate is DeGrom and what's his name? I'm blanking on his fucking name. Pineda. India from Cincinnati. So that kid's been hitting pretty damn good. He's been like really good. Small sample size, obviously, but he's been solid. He's okay. If he's batting at the bottom of the order, I'm not too interested in it just because of that price range. You've got other guys that that I have interest in. At that position in general, you have Kike Hernandez, who's going against a lefty, a bad one. David Fletcher's been ridiculous versus lefties if you're doing an Angel stack. Marcus Semien. So, yeah, Hernandez, Fletcher, Semien. Those guys are all solid options at that position. But India's been solid, and that's a high total. So I think he's fine for GPPs if you want to stack Cincinnati up. For sure. Couple minutes left, guys. Get all your questions in. Get your last-minute questions in, and I'm going to go finalize everything and post at Greenlight DFS. On the main slate, Steven Matz. I'll be real with you. I haven't considered him much. Matz is going against the Angels. No. I would not do that. It's definitely low owned, but I wouldn't do that. If you get a piece of that, I would probably I wouldn't. Let me just end it with that. I would not do that. Favorite SP2 on which one? Pineda on the early slate. On the main slate, probably Chris Paddock, Ian Anderson. Who's your favorite stacks for early slate? Early slate stacks. All right, let's talk over early slate stacks. So New York, Minnesota. New York, Minnesota. We talked about the lefties for Tampa Bay. So Austin Meadows is great. But that's kind of a one-off for Tampa Bay. I'd probably more one-off Tampa Bay guys. If I'm full on stacking, I like a lot of Minnesota, a lot of New York today. Those are the two that really stick out to me the most. Does Hauser have a snowball's chance in hell to escape with around 10 points? Hauser. Against St. Louis, he has a small chance, yes. You have a little bit of a weather issue possibly causing a delay, maybe. He has an outside chance, sure, because he got 11 against Minnesota. Vegas only has the implied total at 4. So we'll see. I think he's okay. I'd probably rather Trevor Rogers if I'm paying down there. I don't know, though. That's tough. I probably wouldn't do Hauser. I mean, I don't have much interest in him, at least. But he's okay at 6'3", and when it comes to value, we don't have much of it. So, yeah, I mean, he's one of the decent value options on the slate, for sure. What else we got? One more minute. Let's do home run predictions. Let's start with the early slate. Early slate home run predictions. I got to always go with Nelson Cruz versus a lefty. Got to do it. I'm also going to throw Byron Buxton in there for Minnesota as well. Giancarlo Stanton. Judge could do it, but I'm going to side with Stanton on this one. Let's see. Who else do I like here? Austin Meadows. Talked about that lefty-righty matchup there. I'm going to go on a limb and say Jay Bruce. Keep in mind, though, if you're playing Jay Bruce, he's not going to get a ton of batting attempts. He's batting at the bottom of the order, but this New York offense could pretty much go through it pretty easily with Archer pitching. Jay Bruce, I'm going to go for a home run as a cheap homer. Let's see. Who else? What do y'all think? Those are pretty much my core guys. So let me go over my core one more time. Nelson Cruz, Byron Buxton, Giancarlo Stanton, Austin Meadows. Those are my favorite guys out there, and Jay Bruce. That's my 5 favorite home run predictions of the day, mostly. Matt Carpenter, flat minute. Archer has always pitched well versus the Yankees. I get it, but, man, he gives up some power, and this is a dangerous lineup to go against, man. Do you go Urshela? Let me check out Urshela real quick. Urshela's batting 8th righty-righty. He's okay. He's not my favorite, though. Buxton or Judge? Buxton, since he's cheaper. If you don't need the money, I mean, Judge has too much upside probably to fade if you have plenty of money. It also depends, too. If you're stacking up the Yankees, go Judge. If you're stacking up Minnesota, go Buxton. If you're going for straight upside, go Judge. If you're going for more of a safety, it's probably Buxton. So there's a lot of different ways to look at it. Somebody said Matt Carpenter. Matt Carpenter going against Hauser. He's okay. He should be batting at a decent part of the order. He's okay at 3-8. All right, y'all. GreenlightDFS.com. Join the squad, man. Good luck, everybody. Any thoughts on Max Kepler? Oh, let me check out Max Kepler real quick. Last one. Lefty against Kikuchi. No, I won't be doing it. DJ LeMahieu is perfectly fine, especially if you're stacking up the Yankees. Good luck, y'all. GreenlightDFS.com. Drop a like down below if you haven't already. Let's get it. We swept yesterday. 1 MLB, 1 NBA. Let's do it again. Good luck, everybody. Let's get it. Yeah, Garlic at 2.4 is crazy value on this slate. Love them, especially if you're stacking Minnesota. Got to do it. All right. Appreciate y'all joining as always, man. Have a good day. I'm out. Peace.